Alright, this is what I'm using the aquarium filter on. This is my 125-gallon tank. I got an Emperor 350 on the back. You see all the bubbles that I got moving there? Because this is my basement right here. That's a 150, Whisper 150. Now if you see on the side right there, that big tube going up, that's actually another video I did. There's a water pump right there, pumping water up into there, going through all that filter media and coming back in here through on this side over here. That's what the bubbles are coming in this way. As you see, my water is crystal clear right now. But one of my main things is also, if I'm going to be running the air pump to oxygenate the water, why shouldn't I use the undergravel filter? So that's serving two purposes. One, it's oxygenating the water, and two, it's filtering the water. The big filter pump that I have on the back, I actually made that just for my DIY stuff to see if I could make it. Although it is keeping it crystal clear, I don't know if I'm going to keep it running or not. The pump right there is just a little bit too loud for me. I don't got a completely silent pump. If it was a completely silent pump, I might consider it, but I'm going to actually have to keep that running until my undergravel filter propagated with the bacteria. So what I have to do is clean my gravel before I lay that out in there, because the gravel is going to need to hold the plates down. Also, let me show you what I have here. This is the chain gang valve that I use right here. This is coming in from the Whisper 150 over there, and this is going out to the tubes. Like I said, I only had a 4-way chain gang. I didn't know it was going to have a 6-way. And also, you should always put these on if you are going to put them on. It's they're valves where the air can only go one way. It cannot go back the other way. And you want these because I actually lost 2 air pumps by water actually just backflowing through the line going up into the air pump. So you want these. I got this and these off of Amazon.com. I think this one was $5, but I bought the better one, the metal one. And then these I think were $4.95 for 10 of them. Alright, I'm going to see if the plate would actually sink to the bottom and how it's going to sit better this way or this way. Like I said, this is a 125. I got to pull out all that crap at the bottom. You see right there, there's the airflow. I actually have it holding down by just a little piece of copper on the airline tubing. And then the stuff at the bottom was actually cilantro, because I feed the tilapia some cilantro. This is just a thermometer to let me know how hot it is in here. I'm not going to feed you right now. I'm not going to feed you. Damn guy just bit me. That's going to be pretty interesting. It's funny, they got little prickly teeth. They actually did prick me a little bit. Trying to move to the side. I didn't break the pieces off yet. I'm going to have to shut the water off because the water actually moving these pretty good. I'm probably going to have them more towards the back. I won't have them towards the front. Make sure it's still recording. And reach that. I have to move it out the way for now. Okay, there's 3 of them right there. There's 3 of them. So I guess the other 3 will fit right here also. I got to get some of those tilapias out there because I know they're going to break those plastic, the big tilapias. I'm going to leave the one really big one in there, and I'm going to get the rest out of there actually. The koi will actually like the gravel because the koi sift through the gravel a lot, but since there's no gravel in there, nobody's sifting through anything. That's running with this right here. But I'll tell you the truth, if I shut the 350 off, for some reason I have more feces floating around in here than with the 350 on. Even though that sucks everything out, the 350 I guess circulates more water. Alright, I'm going to shut this off so I don't keep this recording for a long video of me trying to lay these out. Alright, there's my gravel that I'm going to use. That's actually only 40 pounds of gravel. I probably need another bag, 60 pounds to fill up this whole thing on the bottom, but 40 pounds alright to start with and get the biological stuff going in it. There's my bucket, because even though it says wash gravel, I'm going to wash it as good as I can in the basement sink. What I do is put the gravel in there and let the water run and just keep swishing and swishing and swishing and swishing with my hand until the gravel's clean. I'm actually going to get 2 of the big tilapias out here and throw them out back. Because I'm telling you, those things right here, those beasts will go ahead and break the pipes coming up the back. So I'm going to get 2 of the big tilapias out there. I'm going to actually get that one in the corner and the red one out and leave that big guy right there and bring a whole bunch of more little babies up here. So you know what? I'm going to move those out first and then I'll be back after I wash the gravel. Alright, let me show you what I got going on here. I took 2 of the tilapias out. Those were all the 3 big ones were male tilapia. So I took 2 of the bigger ones out, threw them in my 330. Now putting them with the plates, trying to measure it, get the measurement right. I said I'm only using 4 of the under gravel filters. Now the bad thing with these is they don't clip together where there's no throughway. It'll be nice for it to be like air to go through them so all the plates still work. So that's this way, that's this way, that's this way. Now this one right here is that way, that's that way, and that's that way. And what I did with that is so they could be even, 2 plates from this side and 2 plates from that side. And I'm going to use the back corner and this corner right here, the second plate. The far corners of the second plates over here, and the far corners of the second plates over here for the biofilter. These right here are really not biofilters. They're just going to have gravel on them because there's no air pipes or air vents in this. But in the same, I got the Magnum 350 going in there. So I'm going to run those instead of that to see if the noise goes down and how much the noise goes down. That is an awesome filter right there. I might actually throw it into my 330 for now and let that cycle in my 330 for a while. So I'm going to start washing the gravel out. I got the gravel down there. And you know what? I'm going to start rinsing it out. And as it's rinsing out, I'm going to poke the 2 holes. Got to poke the hole in the back of that right there and poke the hole in the back of there so I can start putting the pipes in there. You actually got to put the pipes down in there before you put the gravel in. For the gravel, actually I just got it in my basement sink. And all I'm doing is just constantly swirling it around to get all the dirt. And actually it's really clear. This gravel is like pretty, it says it was rinsed off already, and it actually is pretty clear. A little sandy brown, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be. You know, kind of pour the water out and then just do it all again. I'll probably do this about 10 times. This is one 20-pound bag, and then I'll do it again with the other 20-pound bag. We'll rinse it about 10 times, and then you can put it in the tank. Like I said, I'm going to leave the other biological filter running, the one I got, the under gravel filter, till this builds bacteria in it. I don't want to shock it too bad. Alright, I'm going to pull out the first plate because I know exactly where I'm going to put that piece in. So I should be able to reach in there and pull it out right now. These fish are actually going crazy on me. Now I knew that this corner is going to come out because that's where I'm going to put it at. So I'm going to pull this corner out and then put the other piece right in here. Hopefully it sits in there pretty good. See, they just snap in and out. But don't snap them in and out until you know exactly where it's going to go. Alright, now this is the piece, and this crown kind of snaps right in there. And Bob's your uncle. Now I gotta try to get this back in there and put it in right. Okay. And the hose is going to come out right here in the back. And I'm actually going to turn I want the water to be flowing in, cycling inward. Oh, my filter and back is just throwing water all over the place. Okay, now that's how that one's gonna go. As far back as I can get it, but I don't want rocks going underneath it. So that's where that one is gonna go. And then the... Wish they gave more little bit of line there. This line is actually almost just coming to the top of the tank. I hate to do it, but I gotta pull this back out a little bit. I don't want any water going in there. Alright, from that one right there, all the way over here in the middle, is gonna be the next one. So like I said, I just punched that out right there. Let me see if I can lower this some. Right. I punched it out right there, and then the tube is coming up right there. Alright, it's gonna be a little bit more sturdy when I put gravel around it. But, you know, big fish like this, they might knock it out. I might have to find some way to fasten it to the back or buy the little grips to suction cup them to the back. Because these fish are huge and, you know, they'll knock that out. So I'm going to go ahead and line the rest of them. That's how I lined that one up. I'm going to line the other ones up right now. Okay, right now I got 1, 2, 3, 4 tubes lined up in there. Now what I noticed was, remember I had the little extra glass pieces right here? These right here, that's because I have to be able to connect the back airline tube all to the chain gang valve that I got laying right here. So right now I got to connect each one of those back tubes to the big pump right here. So now I got to figure out, actually it's always good to have on hand if you're doing a big fish tank setup. I have everything on hand and I have tons of airline tubing left over. So what I would rather have, instead of from the pump over there to have 4 complete lines coming, I'm going to have 1 line coming to somewhere up here, put the chain gang up in here, and then from the chain gang to go to each one of these, so that these lines have to be a little bit shorter. Plus I'm going to have the one-way airlocks in there. So I'm going to start hooking that up right now. Alright, moment of truth. I got all the airlines rigged up to the top corner, so there's the gang valve up there. I'll make that all look pretty behind the curtain afterward. I just want to make sure before I put all this gravel in, I want to make sure that all the airlines are going to work and all that's going to work, because I don't want to be moving the tubes around after the gravel's in and pop one out when I got all the gravel. Then I'll be fighting to try to clean that little hole out. So I'll make sure all the airlines are done and everything before I put the gravel in. One, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that one's coming out really good. Of course, that's the first one. Second one, third one, fourth one. That one's not going good over there, but I can always adjust the flow with the valves. Like the first one. You slow it down, you see it picks up in the second one. Alright, I got a really good air valve. So, you know, I'll adjust all those to get the proper flow after I get the gravel in. Alright, one thing I would recommend when putting in the gravel is don't just pour the bucket over. The gravel's going to set to the bottom, and then you want to get a cup or something, but you don't want to just pour the bucket over in there. You want to get your plates to sit exactly where you want your plates to sit. Let me see if I can grab a cup or something. Alright, I got a double styrofoam cup of rocks right here. You got to try to get your plates exactly where you want them before you start pouring it in. Alright, that's one. That'll hold that plate down. Now I got to get this plate exactly where I need it. And then get a couple gravel and throw a couple gravel on that plate. Alright, see, so I got a couple gravel on that plate, a couple gravel on that plate. This one I spread around too much. I should have had it just like this. Now I want to put a couple gravel on each one of the plates, but right now I'm going to start on these two to get these two exactly where I want. And then I'm going to do those two last. these two plates and the two plates on the end are the important ones for me, because those are the ones that I am going to actually use for the biological filtration. I got the Magnum 350 in this one right here on the front, so I'm not going to worry about this one. See, now it's very precise and controlled where I got the gravel at. Before I start spreading willy-nilly, I want to make sure all the plates are down and no gravel is going to be sucked underneath the plates. And they're all level exactly where I want them before I start spreading gravel. Now I'm going to put gravel on top of these piles and then start spreading from there. I'm not just going to start pouring it all in. Alright, now that's 2 cups on each plate. So now I can start pouring some in because the plates are pretty much firmly down now. I still got the pump in there and pump going on, but I'll move it in a little bit. Right now the plates are down, they're firmly down, so now I can start pouring it in and spreading it around. Alright, there you have it, Bob's your uncle. As you can see, I need some more gravel. This is 40 pounds of gravel in a 125. I'm going to need about 20 more pounds of gravel just to finish filling everything in. I already got those flowing. I got most of the gravel off on those 2 planks and on these 2 planks because that's where the biological filtration is going to come at. I got the gravel holding these planks down, but the 350 is right here. Currently, I have my external pump right there filtering in the big filter right there, just till this biological filter takes hold right here. But believe it or not, that when it was sitting on the glass was a lot louder. That's sitting on the gravel and the plates now. I can barely hear that at all right now, so that made a huge difference. I just got to finish buttoning this up. I took all the other big ones out. He's the only big one I left in there, but I want to bring some more little tilapia in here. Either way, there it goes. Just got to put together, and that's put into the undergravel filter, Lee's undergravel filter on a 125 gallon tank. That's how I did it. Hopefully it helped out. Bye.